The fall of the mighty Roman Empire, once the center of the known world, remains one of the most studied, debated, and fascinating events in human history. At its zenith, the empire spanned 3 continents, possessed powerful military machinery, and was home to vibrant multicultural societies. So how did such a seemingly invincible entity come to an end? This question has puzzled scholars and historians alike, inspiring them to offer numerous theories and perspectives. In this video, we will explore the complexities of Rome's fall, recognizing that it was not the result of a singular event, but a complex interplay of military, political, economic, and societal changes over centuries. From the relentless pressure of barbarian invasions to the internal corrosion of political corruption, from the strains of managing an extensive geographic spread to religious transitions, the downfall of Rome wasn't sudden, but a gradual process that fundamentally reshaped the world. The Roman Empire is known for its spectacular expansion that brought large territories across Europe, Africa, and Asia under its control. At its height, Rome dominated lands from the Atlantic Ocean to the Arabian Sea, from Britain to Egypt. This unprecedented geographic spread was primarily achieved through a series of military conquests, strategic alliances, and the implementation of Roman law and administration across captured regions. Rome's military was a sophisticated force, renowned for its discipline, tactics, and engineering feats. The Roman legions, comprised of well-trained citizen soldiers, were the backbone of the empire's military prowess. They were equipped with advanced weapons, superior strategies, and a unique organization structure that allowed them to conquer diverse lands and peoples. However, this immense expansion was a double-edged sword. As the empire grew larger, it became increasingly difficult to govern and protect. The administration of such vast territories required substantial manpower, resources, and an effective communication network, something that became progressively challenging as the empire expanded. Moreover, maintaining a substantial and far-reaching military presence put a great strain on the Roman economy. The military costs associated with protecting the empire's extensive borders from external threats and suppressing internal revolts were substantial. Over time, these costs significantly contributed to the economic difficulties Rome would face. In addition, Rome's extensive borders exposed it to various barbarian tribes, increasing the frequency and intensity of attacks. The empire's stretched military, although formidable, struggled to repel these repeated invasions, especially when they occurred simultaneously at different frontier regions. As the Roman Empire expanded, it didn't just face challenges related to governance and defense. There were also growing economic issues that began to gnaw at the empire's foundations. These economic difficulties, intertwined with the problem of an over-reliance on slave labor, played a significant role in Rome's eventual downfall. The expenses of running an empire of Rome's size were immense. It had to finance a vast military, fund public works, and sustain the cost of administration across its vast territories. As Rome's military expansion slowed, so did the influx of wealth and slaves from conquered lands, leading to financial strain. Rome attempted to compensate for this by heavily taxing its citizens, which in turn led to widespread dissatisfaction and further exacerbated economic difficulties. Moreover, Rome suffered from severe inflation, particularly during the 3rd century AD, known as the Crisis of the 3rd Century. The Roman currency, the denarius, faced extreme devaluation due to overproduction, leading to a drastic increase in the prices of goods and services. Slavery was another major issue that contributed to Rome's decline. The Roman economy heavily depended on slaves for everything from household chores to hard labor in the fields and mines. Conquered peoples were the primary source of new slaves, so as the empire's territorial expansion waned, the inflow of slaves also decreased. This over-reliance on slavery had several detrimental effects on the Roman society and economy. It discouraged technological innovation, as cheap slave labor eliminated the necessity for more efficient production methods. Moreover, the increasing scarcity of slaves meant that much of the Roman farmland was left uncultivated, leading to reduced agricultural output. An empire as grand as Rome required a solid, stable political structure to sustain its vast expanse. Unfortunately, The empire suffered from profound political corruption and instability, especially during its later periods. This political decay not only weakened the internal structure of Rome, but also diminished its capacity to respond effectively to external threats. From the late 2nd century AD, the Roman Empire began to face a chronic problem of leadership. The empire was often marred by power struggles, assassinations, and military coups. Emperors were often chosen by the military rather than by political or familial succession, leading to frequent changes in leadership, many of whom were not equipped or prepared to govern effectively. During the crisis of the 3rd century, Rome saw a rapid turnover of emperors. In a span of just 50 years, Rome had over 20 claimants to the throne, most of whom were military generals who seized power by force. This era of chaos and political instability led to a lack of continuity and consistent policy, making it challenging to address the empire's mounting problems effectively. Alongside the political instability was widespread corruption. Public offices were often bought and sold, leading to a situation where the wealthy and influential could manipulate the workings of the state to serve their own interests. Tax collectors, for instance, could exploit their positions to amass personal wealth, contributing to economic instability. Furthermore, many emperors used bread and circuses, free grain and entertainment, to distract the populace from the underlying issues facing the empire. This practice not only drained the imperial treasury, but also fostered a culture of dependency and complacency. External threats were a constant challenge for the Roman Empire, especially from various barbarian tribes at the fringes of its expansive territories. These invasions and migrations significantly contributed to the destabilization and ultimate fall of the Western Roman Empire. The term barbarians was used by the Romans to refer to people outside the empire who did not share Roman traditions or the Latin language. The most notable of these were the Germanic tribes such as the Visigoths, Ostrogoths, Vandals, and the Franks, along with the Huns from Central Asia. These groups were drawn to the wealth and civilization of Rome, often resulting in waves of invasion and migration into the empire. Rome had dealt with barbarian threats before, but the intensity of the attacks increased significantly in the later periods of the empire, particularly in the 4th and 5th centuries AD. The Roman military, already stretched thin and dealing with internal issues, struggled to defend the empire's expansive borders from these incursions. Moreover, the migration of these tribes was not always hostile. Many groups sought to settle within the empire's borders, drawn by Rome's relative stability and wealth. However, the Romans often struggled to integrate these newcomers, leading to cultural clashes, social tension, and further strain on the empire's resources. The Visigothic sack of Rome in 410 AD, under the leadership of Alaric, was a clear indication of Rome's weakening grip on its territories. However, the final blow came when Odoacer, a Germanic king, deposed Romulus Augustus, the last Roman emperor in the West, in 476 AD. As Rome grappled with mounting internal and external pressures, Emperor Diocletian made a strategic decision in 286 AD that would profoundly impact the future of the empire. He divided it into two halves. This division was intended to make the administration of the vast empire more manageable and to counteract the numerous threats more effectively. While it provided short-term relief, it also set the stage for a deep divide that would play a key role in the fall of the Western Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was divided into the Western Roman Empire, with Rome as its capital, and the Eastern Roman Empire, with Byzantium, later Constantinople and modern-day Istanbul, as its capital. Theoretically, both parts of the empire were equals. However, the East, rich in trade routes and with a robust economy, soon became more prosperous than the West. The West, on the other hand, bore the brunt of the barbarian invasions and had weaker economic foundations. As the Western Roman Empire struggled to defend against invasions and manage its economic problems, the Eastern Roman Empire managed to not only survive but thrive, eventually evolving into the Byzantine Empire. Moreover, the split diluted the power of the Roman identity and further weakened the unity and coherence of the empire. It created a power disparity, often leading to disagreements and conflicts between the two halves. This division made the empire more vulnerable, both internally and externally. The fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 AD, when the last Roman emperor was overthrown by the Germanic king Odoacer, marked the end of the Roman Empire in the West. Meanwhile, the Eastern Roman Empire, or Byzantine Empire, continued to prosper and maintained some form of Roman governance for nearly 1,000 years more. While the fall of Rome was primarily due to internal problems, certain external factors, including environmental changes, also played a significant role in the decline of the empire. Rome's expansion and extensive agriculture put significant pressure on its environment. Deforestation, soil erosion, and overfarming led to decreased agricultural productivity in many parts of the empire. Moreover, the empire's population had grown to such an extent that feeding it became increasingly challenging, particularly when agricultural yields declined. Additionally, there is evidence of climate change during the period of Rome's decline. The climate became colder and more unpredictable, which further strained agriculture and made it more difficult to support the empire's vast population. Such climatic changes also made some regions less hospitable, leading to increased migration, including movements of barbarian tribes towards the warmer and more prosperous lands within the empire's borders. At the same time, the Roman Empire faced other external challenges such as the spread of diseases. The infamous plague of Justinian in the 6th century AD, for example, decimated the population, further weakening the empire's societal and economic foundations. It's crucial to remember that while these external factors contributed to Rome's downfall, they were not the primary causes. Instead, they exacerbated existing internal problems, such as economic difficulties, political instability, and military pressures. As you can now see, the fall of Rome reminds us of the inherent fragility of even the most powerful and enduring political entities. It underscores the importance of sound economic, political, and social policies, the dangers of overexpansion, the consequences of internal decay and corruption, and the significance of adapting to changing circumstances. If you love learning about ancient Rome, be sure to check out our video on the lives of the gladiators or visit the History Skills website. I look forward to seeing you again soon on our next video.